A lot of people say they feel very insignificant when they look at these images that show thousands of galaxies and tell us that there are hundreds of billions of galaxies beyond the Milky Way. And that's a certain understandable response. But I also feel a sense of gratitude and even significance myself. Now, these are philosophical issues, not science issues, right? But I feel a sense of significance that we as humans have developed or been granted the ability to develop instruments that enable us to see far beyond what the human eye alone could ever see, and to think about what it means, to think about how we on this planet relate to star systems far beyond our own. I think that's wonderful. It should make us all feel a sense of gratitude and humility, and also connectedness. You know, we're on different sides of a planet, but we're all connected as human beings on planet Earth as part of this magnificent universe. I think it should and does have a unifying effect for humanity, and I'm grateful for that.
Imagination is great, but execution is everything. So, okay, we can imagine being able to see the cosmos, and that's great. And great astronomers, great thinkers, wrote the governing equations, they imagined it. But what did it take to be able to do it in a way that responds to what we learn in a way that allows us to go beyond just the framing questions, you know? And so the Hubble Space Telescope is the consummation of a masterpiece of engineering, because many of the things Hubble did and continues to do were miracles of engineering that did not exist before. Hubble expanded our horizons of thinking with an engineering solution to something that changed the way we viewed space. Space all of a sudden was beautiful. It wasn't just equations that say, well, there's something, event horizon like a black hole. Look at Hawking's work, and and Einstein's, and others. It's more than that. It's beautiful. It's elegant. It's populated. It's not just light from stars. It's connecting glue. It's the, it's grand challenges. It connects other galaxies to suns, to planetary systems that we can indirectly sense. All that took a space telescope to do, and it had to be a good one. Hubble discovered things that are now fundamental in the astrophysics of our universe. Oh my God. But the millions of engineering solutions that let it work, it's, they're beyond words. They're magic. I think that's why it was so transformative in space science. It brought space science to the people because it talked about all space. And it stared at key places in all space to tell us what could be. And that is brilliant. Space is a tapestry. It's a mosaicism of stuff. Some wish we can't see. Hubble saw a lot of it and showed us how to look at it differently. And that, I think, is its legacy.
Humans are very good at kind of putting our hearts and souls into things that are made of just metal and wiring. I mean, think about perhaps the connection you might have to your car. Your car is something that is used by you every day, is touched by you. It may have a personality to you. It may feel very secure, or it may be very contentious. It's always breaking down. It's natural for us to sort of put ourselves out into the world in things that might not really be conscious, that are just machines. And when you hear the Hubble Space Telescope, you think of something, well, okay, it's a telescope. It's a big metal tube. We launched it up into space. It's very far away. They're seeing things that are very esoteric that I wouldn't understand. The thing I would ask you to do is just take a little time and look at some of these pictures, because if the artistic merit of what a giant cloud forming hundreds of stars looks like, even if you don't really understand what that is, start by just looking at these beautiful pictures and then start reading. We go through a lot of trouble. Our wonderful science writers are trying to describe what you're really seeing, the drama of it, scale of it, and also the connection. You're looking at a place where our sun, our solar system, and your body literally come from these places that Hubble's taking a picture of, these giant clouds, making every chemical element that there is in the universe. You are part of this story. And I know that can seem hard. Scientists can seem like very distant people, very different from the rest of the world, and we're completely not. Scientists are you. Scientists are your neighbors and your friends. And if you've ever asked a question, or if you've ever looked up into the night sky with wonder, you're one of us. You get to be included along with the scientists. Hubble is to us a piece of machinery that we have put our hopes and our dreams and our PhD dissertations and our arguments and our frustrations into. And 30 years on, you know, this one metal cylinder up in space carries the souls of tens of thousands of people. And, you know, that's something that it's a wonderful part of being human. What we touch begins to carry part of our humanity with it.
Congress wasn't at all sure that it wanted to pay for the Hubble. And it took really a major effort on the part of the astronomical community to lobby Congress to get the final funding approved. Proxmire, who was you may not want to use this story, but I think it's a good story.
I'd love to hear it.
Proxmire was noted for the fact that laughing at the ways government wasted money. And he sent a question to NASA headquarters saying, why should the American taxpayer pay for something like the Hubble? And I did a back-of-the-envelope calculation, and my answer was that for the cost of a night at the movies, every American taxpayer would have 15 years of exciting discoveries. And I may have been off by a factor of 3 or 4, depending on how you figure launch costs and the servicing missions and some other things. But even if it ended up being one night at the movies every year, I think Hubble has been worth it.